If you're tired of it taking 30 minutes or even longer for you to get a woman off, or you struggle to make women come even after they're trying really hard, this video is going to help, because in just a few minutes, you'll discover 5 bedroom tricks that's not only guaranteed to drive a woman wild with pleasure, but also speed things up and make her finish much faster, sometimes in half the time it usually takes, or even in just a couple of minutes. Best part is you can use this stuff as soon as tonight and watch your partner melt into orgasms right in front of you and then beg you for more. So if that sounds good, pay attention and keep watching. My name is Marni, and from here on out, I will be your very own personal wing girl. And every week, I'm going to give you the no BS insider info about what women really want, plus the most effective methods to win over any woman you like. So just hit that subscribe button now so that you never miss a video. All right, let's get started. Trick number 1, I want you to use a vibrator. I've talked about this before, but if you're not occasionally using a vibrator in bed, you're missing out on one of the fastest ways there is to get a woman off. Now look, I'm not saying you can't blow her mind with your mouth, your fingers, your manhood. You totally can. In fact, if you're using some of the sex tips I discuss on this channel, I'm sure you're already very good in bed, and you're more than capable of giving any woman a great time. However, there is only so much that the human body can do. And if you're ever in a situation where it's taking too long for her and you want to speed things up and practically guarantee an orgasm, a vibrator is something you need to try and incorporate. Because remember, 80% of women need some clitoral stimulation to reach climax. It's by far the fastest and most reliable route for a woman to have an orgasm. And no matter how good you are at giving head or rubbing her clit with your fingers, a vibrator will speed things up in a way no human can. It's a device that's built for the job, but it also puts you in an interesting position, because here's something you probably don't know about the female body. When it comes to orgasms, it's only the first one that takes a woman the longest. Once she's had that first one, she's typically in this highly sensitive orgasmic state. So at this point, if you switch to oral or fingering or penetration, it's easy to make her orgasm again, not just once, potentially multiple times. And it happens much faster too, sometimes in just a couple of minutes, which means without too much additional effort, you get to watch her melt into orgasmic bliss over and over again and leave her gasping for breath by the end of it as she looks at you like you're a sexual god. And that is why a vibrator is such a great tool to have in your arsenal. It's a speed booster, and it frees up your hands so you can do other things. It gives you the easiest way to get her off multiple times. But that brings us to the question, what type of vibrator should you get? Well, most standard vibrators can totally do the job. However, there's one that I personally love a lot, and it comes from our sponsor, LELO. LELO's Enigma Double Sonic offers a unique double stimulation experience to a woman that most vibrators do not. The mouth of this device creates a pulsing sensation on her clitoris that's deeply satisfying by itself. But at the same time, its insertable tail targets another pleasure hotspot inside her vagina known as the A-spot. So if you don't know, the A-spot is actually part of the clitoral network that extends into her vagina and is located about 4 inches deep, making it a little difficult to locate and stimulate with just your fingers or your penis. But that's where the Double Sonic has you covered. This flexible, insertable tail precisely hits the A-spot and creates intense pleasure inside her vagina, while the mouth properly stimulates the clitoris on the outside, giving her a powerful mix of sensations that's guaranteed to drive her wild. In fact, it's because of this double stimulation technology that this device can so consistently make a woman lose control and have body-shaking explosive orgasms. And in my personal opinion, it can be a total game changer in the bedroom, because trust me, women are crazy about this vibrator. I know I am. So are many of my girlfriends, and whoever you use it on will absolutely adore you for it. So if you want to find out more about the Enigma Double Sonic, click the link in the description below and get all the details. Right now, you can get a great deal and save over $100 on the Double Sonic, plus get a free 1-year warranty. So just hit that link below to get the details on this amazing advice. It's going to spice up your sex life pretty much immediately. It's Wing Girl approved, it's Marni approved, so give it a try and you'll be glad that you did. All right, back to what I was saying. So let's talk about the next thing you can do to speed up her orgasm, which is trick number 2. You want to lead the way. For a woman to enjoy a sexual experience and reach climax, she has to completely let go inside of the bedroom. She has to forget about everything else, check all her worries and concerns at the door, and just bask in the pleasure of the moment. Completely relaxed, not having to think about anything. When she's in this state, she can experience the maximum amount of pleasure, and therefore she can reach orgasm way faster. However, women can only relax and let go if you're the one leading things forward. And I often say on this channel that leadership is the hottest thing you can bring to the table as a man, both inside the bedroom and outside of it. Women respond very positively to leadership because watching a man take charge of things is easily our single biggest turn on. And it's so essential in the bedroom. But what does leadership in the bedroom really mean, and what does it look like? Well, it's simple. It means you know what you want, you have an idea of how things should proceed, and you are the one guiding the interaction forward. So let's say you're in the bedroom and you start off by pinning her against a wall and kissing her on her neck, and after a few seconds, you pull back, pause, look at her lips, then start kissing her again. Then you go for the neck, kiss her neck, while running your hands all over her breasts, giving them light squeezes. Then maybe you pull back and take her top off, or tell her to take her top off. See what's going on? You're the one leading the journey, the interaction, the story. You have a plan for how things should go, and you're executing it without hesitation. You're directing the flow of events, and she doesn't have to think about anything. She doesn't have to make decisions. You've made them for her. She can just bask in the pleasure that you're creating for her. This needs to continue as things get hot and heavy, and you want to go down on her, put her on the bed or the couch, whatever. Part her legs and go for it. You want to spend some time playing with her breasts? Do it. When it comes to penetration, what positions do you want to go for? Tell her what you want. Help her get into those positions. It's not being demanding, and it's not being a jerk and of not listening to anything she has to say, but it's taking the lead and being open to her responses. The most important thing with leadership is that you eliminate any 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of behavior. That means when you want to do something or say something, you go for it without hesitation and without second guessing. You fully commit to that thing. So let's say you want to do her from behind, right? Don't ask her for permission because you're afraid of making the wrong move. Don't say, hey, do you want to take it from behind now? Or, right? Or, hey, could you just maybe like roll over and I could do it from behind? This is 1 foot in, 1 foot out behavior. And it's nice and it's wonderful. I get it. But you're hesitating. You're wondering if this is what she wants, and you're asking her to make this decision for you. That's not leadership. If you want to do her from behind, you turn her around and put her in that position. And you tell her, turn around, I want to take you from behind. If she doesn't want to do that, she'll tell you. But you lead. You're the director of this experience. Show her that you've made a decision and you're going for it. Similarly, if you want her to go down on you, you tell her to do so. She has choice as well. This is what leadership is all about. Have a plan, have a vision, and go for it without hesitation. And if there's, again, anything she doesn't want to do, that is completely fine. You should back off and you try something else. That's also part of leadership. It's adjusting plans along the way and keeping the show going. Just don't give her the burden of making decisions in the bedroom. If you can follow that one rule, in most cases, you'll make it easy for a woman to climax as fast as she's capable of. Trick number 3, praise and feedback. Praise is another powerful tool you should be using to get a woman off faster. And there are 2 main reasons why. First of all, during a sexual encounter, most women typically have a lot of insecure thoughts running in their minds. Thoughts that are like, do I look good right now? Can he see this fat bulge? Am I really turning him on? Are my breasts too small? Do I smell? Does he feel good being inside of me? Like, is he thinking of someone else? The list goes on. There are so many things that can creep into our mind. Contrary to what most men imagine, a woman isn't there judging you on how well you're doing. 9 out of 10 times, no matter how beautiful and confident she is, she's actually in her own head, feeling unsure of herself and worrying about what you are thinking of her, which means she's in a state where she cannot fully relax and enjoy the moment. She's just too caught up in her head. And I have this all the time. However, when you praise and appreciate her you start to melt all of that away and the insecurities start to fade away to help her get back in the moment with you. So for example, if you say something like, you look so sexy right now, or it feels so good to be inside of you, or oh my God, you smell delicious, or your skin feels so soft, or your breasts are gorgeous. Basically, when you give any sort of positive feedback, you're helping her switch off her insecure mind and bask in the pleasure of the moment. And you're making it easier for her to reach her climax. But that is not all. The second reason why praise works so well is because female sexuality can be a little bit narcissistic. Meaning, what turns women on the most is the feeling of being wanted and desired. So we spend so much of our lives catering for other people's needs and nurturing others that when we're in the bedroom, we just want to let loose and feel like we're the center of attention. We want to feel like you want, crave, and desire us more than anything. We want to feel like you're consumed by this powerful lust for us, and we want you to show it. We want to feel it. Praise and positive feedback is the simplest way to do that, and therefore one of the simplest ways to get a woman super hot and excited in the bedroom, making it easier for her to melt into orgasmic bliss. Trick number 4, making eye contact. Eye contact is a powerful pleasure booster for women. Locking eyes with her as you devour her body makes her feel a sense of connection and intimacy with you and tension. It shows her that you're fully there with her, that you're taken by her presence, and that feeling makes the whole experience more electric for a woman. Now, most guys obviously enjoy looking at the woman they're with during a sexual encounter, but they don't usually gaze into her eyes and have that moment of connection, like we're in this together. That's why this is such an underutilized trick in the bedroom. It's hard for a guy to realize how incredibly sexy eye contact can be. But trust me, we women crave for this, even if it's just a casual one-night stand type of thing. If you mix in eye contact with some of the other tricks in this video, for example, if you look deeply into her eyes and say things like, you look so sexy right now, or if you say something like, it feels so good to be inside of you, it's going to send shockwaves of pleasure through her entire body. In fact, sometimes even just pausing to look deeply into her eyes can send shivers down her spine. For instance, if you're kissing her and then you pull back for a second just to look at her, my God, that is so ridiculously hot. So please try this out. Don't just look at her. Lock eyes with her from time to time, and you will instantly amplify the pleasure she's feeling in that very moment. Trick number 5, stop trying to make her orgasm. I know this one sounds strange, but let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how women automatically like you when you don't try to make them like you? Or how you're funny and clever in conversation when you're not bothered about being funny and clever in a conversation? Well, the same thing applies in the bedroom. You're much more likely to help a woman finish when you're not like super focused on it. Did you come yet? Did you come yet? Did you finish? Truth is, focusing on orgasms put pressure on both parties. You start to worry about what you're doing wrong. You doubt if you're good enough or if you're letting her down. You think of what happens if you don't get her off, and it kills your confidence in the bedroom. On the other hand, or on the other side for her, most women are turned off by the emphasis that's put on her achieving an orgasm. I've had this before. I feel the pressure like, finish, finish, finish. Women can get very stressed about reaching climax if their partner seems too enthusiastic about it. And this stress keeps us from actually being in the moment and enjoying the experience. So take orgasm off of the pedestal for your sake and for hers. Understand that it's not the end goal. In fact, burn this into your brain. A woman doesn't need to climax to enjoy having sex with you. As long as you're supporting her in her experiencing pleasure, she's gonna have a good time. That is it. That's the only goal, for everybody to feel good and have fun. Help her experience pleasure. If you just focus on that end goal, it's not gonna work. But if you just focus on having fun, your performance is gonna be amazing and she's gonna have fun. And you're gonna get women off faster without too much hassle. And of course, women are gonna love you for it. I hope that you enjoyed this video today. I hope that you got a lot out of it. And I'll see you next week. And definitely go try out that Lilo vibrator. It's very fun and very amazing. See you next week.